Very good evening to you. It is 50 years ago today that old Big Ed started a revolution in Nottingham. And not since the days of the great Brian Clough have Forest turned the year in the top four of the top flight. Back in 1988, the Ford Escort was the biggest selling car. Great Britain were flopping at the Winter Olympics. Footloose was being shown on British TV for the first time, and the first Red Nose Day was just around the corner. But in that 87-88 season, when they last turned the year in the top four, Cloughie didn't deliver 6 straight wins, and that is the goal tonight for this impressive Nottingham Forest team under the equally impressive Nuno Espirito Santo, a man whose reputation was forged in the Black Country, where tonight he aims to disrupt the positive start that the new Wolverhampton Wanderers boss Vitor Pereira has made. If he fails and Pereira wins a third game in 4 matches, he would have picked up more wins in 4 games than Gary O'Neill did in his final 19. But if you think Wolves were in a bad situation when the Portuguese came in, then look back at that league table from the turn of the year in 1988. Wolves were in Division 4. Tonight they're without Matthias Cunha, but they're also without other significant absences in Semedo and Andre. They start with Jose Sarr in goal. Rodrigo Lima, Santiago Bueno and Matt Doxey make up the back 3. The manager has said, I'm not starting with 3 centre-backs tonight, I'm starting with 3 defenders. He's not wrong there. 2 of them are full-backs. Rodrigo Gomez makes another one. Tommy Doyle, João Gomez, they're in the centre, and Ryan Aït-Nouri plays on the left-hand side. Up front, Hwang and Guedes support Jørgen Strand-Larsen in attack. Nottingham Forest bring back Murillo and Callum Hudson-Odoi. They start with Matt Sells, who's been a major asset this season in goal. Aina, Murillo, Milinkovic and Williams, who's on the wrong side playing at left-back, are the back 4. Dominguez and Anderson, the 2 holders in midfield, with Anthony Elanga, Morgan Gibbs-White and Callum Hudson-Odoi behind Chris Wood in attack. What do you make of that comment, Troy Deeney, of the manager Vitor Pereira? Says, I'm not playing 3 centre-backs tonight, I'm playing 3 defenders.
Yeah, actually make him right. It's easy to go, we haven't got any centre-backs. He's basically saying the obvious, but in a positive spin. They've got defenders on there. Yes, they're not natural centre-backs, but they know how to defend. They know how to defend 1v1. There's a few nuanced bits that they won't be very good at. Obviously, going attacking the ball under big Chris Wood, but what they will be able to do is defend, cover the ground well, and know how to be on the right side of the attacker when they need to defend. So it's a good ploy from him to basically state the obvious in a positive fashion.
Well, this is how they look like they're lining up, actually. They look like they're lining up with Rodrigo Lima as the right wing back, Matt Doherty as the right centre back, Santiago Bueno in the middle, Ryan Aït-Nouri as the left centre back, and Rodrigo Gomez as the left wing back. We're underway. Peter Banks is our referee, Alex Chilovic is our VAR, and Chris Wood is immediately on the attack over on the far side. Navy shirts with bright pink fluorescent trim attacking the goal away to our right in the first half. The Sir Jack Hayward stand away to our right hand side, and Wolverhampton Wanderers in old gold and black attacking the goal away to our left. Also tonight over on TalkSport 2, Queen's Park Rangers against Luton, who haven't won away from home since September. And remember, we've got live football Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday and Sunday on the network. It's 2025. The football is free, and on TalkSport the footballs are plenty. 0-0, and the ball is over on the far touchline. No Danny Murphy tonight, but Troy Deeney is off the bench to give us some aggression up front, which is appropriate here with Strand-Larsen and Chris Wood in the attack. And I wonder just how, with all these absences, they trouble Nottingham Forest. Maybe we'll find out now as Lima goes down the right-hand side, crosses the ball into the centre, looking for Strand-Larsen, headed away by Milinkovic. It bounces inside the box, it's retrieved by Hwang. He turns it back to the edge of the area. Here is João Gomez looking for a bit of movement. He tries to side it into the box, and making his Premier League debut, Rodrigo Gomez coming in off the right-hand side. Rodrigo Lima coming in off the right-hand side manages to missed the ball by about 3 yards.
Been a lively start though from Wolves already, as you say. The one recognised centre-back and two full-backs either side of him. I'm just wondering whether they think that as this game develops, they're going to have a little bit more of the ball and allow Matt Doherty and Aït-Nouri to go inside. But if I was Forest, I'd be really happy to allow the ball to go wide and into the box, because you're going to have Chris Wood pulling on either Aït-Nouri at the back post or Matt Doherty, so that's something to watch out for as well as this game carries on.
It's 0-0. You're listening to TalkSport. We're live today at the home of Wolverhampton Wanderers, and a team that have upped their game under Vitor Pereira. They're unbeaten in his first 3 matches in charge since replacing Gary O'Neill. And it's a real change in terms of mood around the place as well, Troy, and that makes a massive difference, doesn't it? And Wolves do have a terrific record against Nottingham Forest. The new manager bounce has certainly increased their hopes of survival. Opta now saying they've got a 61% chance of staying up. They have a free kick just in from the touchline on this left-hand side. Aït-Nouri's going to take it, went to go short, and now has decided to go long. All the players in old gold and black move forward up the pitch, but it's a high and aimless ball which is going to bounce through to the goalkeeper Matt Sells, who is immediately called by Ola Aina to come and collect that on the right edge of the penalty area, and he will bowl it out to Murillo over on the far side. 0-0.
An interesting point there from Strand Larsen. He's tried to, what we call, have a little feeler and be physical with Mikhailovic, who just said, that's not happening on my watch, and absolutely just bullied him and threw him on the floor. He's going to have to find ways now to be a little bit cute, play off the front. If he tries to get into a fight with the 2 centre-backs, then he's going to be in real trouble.
Yeah, let me introduce you to the Serbian international who ate up Harry Kane at the European Championships. 3 minutes 30 seconds gone. Murillo has it on the edge of the area. Interesting sort of formation from that front 3 of Wolverhampton Wanderers, where it's Guedes and Hwang who go on the press, and almost like an inverted triangle is Strand Larsen, who's just behind them, ready to sort of burst into the box whenever they get the opportunity to try and feed him. Morgan Gibbs-White, former Wolverhampton Wanderers players, feeds the ball forward, but it doesn't quite reach his intended target of Elanga, goes out towards this near side. Gibbs-White gets a bit of attention from the Wolves fans, and the Nottingham Forest supporters enjoy that. He's wearing the captain's armband for Forest, and he has it on the right side by the touchline. He's dispossessed by João Gomes. Dominguez helps it forward, but again it's an aimless ball which runs all the way through to goalkeeper Jose Sarr away to our right hand side. Wolves will be a threat, won't they? They've scored in 17 of their 19 Premier League games this season. No one else has a better record than that in the league. Arsenal and Everton, the only teams to stop them scoring this season. But you'd back on Nottingham Forest to stop them scoring because of their defensive record.
Yeah, you would, but I think as well, this game's shaping up really well because Wolves are just letting Forest have the ball, and we touched on it earlier in the programme. They're the worst, 20th in the league for possession. They're not used to having the ball, so what Wolves have done is go on, then try and break us down. But I just think as they get into a game now and get the rhythm, Wolves, where they're starting to have more of the ball, they're going to push people forward. They have 5 on the top line already. One mistake and this Nottingham Forest team will be at that back line 3v3 or 4v4, and I just think they've got a little bit more.
Because what Nottingham Forest want to do is sacrifice possession. They're often told not to press. Look at them now. The ball's back with Jose Sarr. No one pressing the centre-backs. They don't want to do that. They'd rather sit in a deeper block and defend that way. But they are great, as a result of it, of limiting chances for the opposition. Here they come, though, down the right-hand side with Pedro Lima trying to get into a wing position. Across goes Nico Williams, and the Welsh international nudges the ball out on the far side. Thrown by the corner flag to be taken by Lima, the Brazilian making his Premier League debut tonight. He's only played 154 minutes for Wolverhampton Wanderers before this evening. Shuffled back towards Doyle, then on to Doherty, and then on the edge of the centre circle the ball is at the feet of the lean and tall figure of Bueno. Then it's forward by Doherty up to Guedes. Larsen joining, can't get there, it's cleared away, and now on the other side of the ball, chance to counter-attack, and this is what they love to do, Nottingham Forest, and they race forward with Morgan Gibbs-White, who gets up to within 5 yards of the area, then sends it back to Elanga, back to Gibbs-White, he finishes it. It's a perfect goal for Nottingham Forest. It's just the way they like to do it. They're in front already. It's another twist in the tail of the super tricky trees, and Morgan Gibbs-White, a former Wolverhampton Wanderers player who was getting the bird just a moment ago, has stuck the ball in the Wolves net at the Sir Jack Hayward end. and it's Nottingham Forest who are celebrating an early goal again. We played just 6.5 minutes. It's 1-0 to the away side.
Didn't I tell you this was just going to happen? They sit, they wait, they make Wolves play a pass they don't want to play into the area. As soon as you turn it over, one great ball from Anderson into Morgan Gibbs-White. He's driving at that back line. He then forces the ball out to Elanga in the edge of the box. Everyone in the penalty area can't touch him. Elanga sets it back, beautifully weighted pass for Morgan Gibbs-White to come onto it. First time, bang, straight to the bottom corner. 1-0. That is the perfect game plan for this Forest team.
Counter-attacking goal from Nottingham Forest, and that's what they want to do. And Morgan Gibbs-White, who scored in the win over Everton on Sunday, scores against his former team tonight. It's his 4th of the season, and it's fascinating really, because he scores more away from home than he does at home for Wolves, does Morgan Gibbs-White. And another assist for Anthony Elanga, who is in his purple patch right now. And so a Nottingham Forest. It's a terrific goal, wasn't it?
It's exactly what they want to do, and this plays into their hands as well. When they score first, it makes the other team have to come onto them, have to come and play, and then all they do again is pick you off. And it's really good play in that build-up as well. Chris Wood was out on the left wing position filling in, and they just rotate that front forward. It's really good, really dynamic. But what they'll do now is invite that pressure from Wolves and say, come on then, try and break us down.
Well, the Forest are so good at hitting the front. Nuno Espirito Santo's side have scored the opening goal in 16 matches in the league this season. No one's done that more than Nottingham Forest, who now have to defend, but Dominguez gets there ahead of Strand Larsen. It's shot through to Williams, and then it goes out to the far side, and Morgan Gibbs-White, another little delicate touch, working it out to Hudson-Odoi, tight on the touchline far side, moves it infield, a little flick round the corner, Hudson-Odoi chasing it, but across goes Pedro Lima. He tucks it out in front of the Nottingham Forest fans, who are all in a sort of slither in front of the first tier over on the far touchline, going right down the touchline, down the side of the pitch, and it's away for a throw-in to Nottingham Forest, level with the edge of the Wolves penalty area.
Do you know what it does as well, Sam, with the way that they both play, and it sucks the energy and the life out of the opposition fan base. We'll listen to it now. As soon as Wolves turn over the ball, it's a groan, the anxiety builds.
Ball flicked on by Milenkovic. It's aimed in towards Gibbs-White. Comes back to Wood, who sort of turns and hits it, but never quite caught it properly. And it's sort of bobbled behind and away for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. But Nottingham Forest looking dangerous whenever they get on the front foot. And Wolves looking wobbly.
Yeah, again, using their strengths. Long throwing into the box from Nico Williams. Two big centre-halves up there. Big Chris Wood up there. It's basically a corner. Flicked on, breaks around and bounces in there. Unfortunately, when it breaks to Chris Wood, kind of scuffs his shot. I think it hits his shin pad, just goes wide. But again, it just shows loads of different ways that they can cause problems for this Wolverhampton team.
Well, they've got no Cunha tonight, and he has scored or assisted 45% of their 31 goals already this season. They've conceded an absolute bucket load, and they've got a hell of a vulnerability from set pieces. Trying to plug those gaps is very difficult, especially when you've got two fullbacks in your three-man back line. Here is Aït-Nouri out towards the left, looking for Hee-Chan Hwang. He trundles down the left touchline. He's met by Aina, has to cut back and play it centrally for Guedes, looks for the return, plays it against Elanga. It was an accidental handball, and Elliot Anderson then races away towards the halfway line with it. He brushes aside Guedes on that halfway line. He tries to play the ball into Wood, but he wasn't accurate enough with his pass. It was intercepted by Bueno, and Wolves come forward. They don't get their passing right. It's cut out by Elanga, who'd filled in at right back, wins it back for Nottingham Forest. It remains 1-0 to the away side.
I feel like I'm going to be repeating myself a lot, but you see that pattern again. Forest trying to get out, lose the ball, but they wait for Wolves again. Wolves turn that ball over. Every time Wolves turn that ball over, they're going to be in trouble, because this front four are really good with the ball, and the other six behind them know their jobs. It's a well-organised team, well-drilled team, but I do feel that there's still goals and chances in this for Wolves if they're a little bit braver.
Aina tries to shovel it down the line. It hits Rodrigo Gomez, who came off the bench against Spurs and started in the Leicester game, scored in that game, former Barcelona left right wing back. He's playing on this side. He's got a lot to contend with Aina and Alanga, who both like to get forward and can do at pace. The ball flicked on by Nottingham Forest, and before Gibbs-White can get hold of it, it's cleared away. But one back by Dominguez in midfield, and those two in midfield are important, Anderson and Dominguez too. Played out to Callum Hudson-Odoi, gets to the edge of the penalty area, low ball into Gibbs-White, didn't quite receive it. Doherty brings it away. He charges up the pitch and plays it left to Guedes. Guedes over the halfway line. He's being chased by Dominguez, stops the ball, comes infield, looks up, plays it square onto Doyle. Doyle holds it up and moves forward now to the centre of the pitch. Forest quite happy to flex back into shape here. Those two central midfielders very deep, just in front of the back four of Nottingham Forest, and they've pushed Wolverhampton Wanderers all the way back to the halfway line.
But you see what it does though, Sam, it creates the fan base to get frustrated. It makes Wolves go backwards. It looks like they're playing safe, looks like they're keeping the ball, but they'll force you, Nottingham Forest, to play a rough pass, play an unsecure pass.
It's been played around the corner by Gomez quite intelligently, and then Tommy Doyle was involved in that too. Picked up by Lima now. He's moving towards the edge of the penalty area. It's shoveled off by Guedes onto Doyle. Doyle down the right. Lima joining by the byline. Low cross into the box. Rodrigo Gomez trying to come in on it, but once again it's stopped by that resolute Nottingham Forest defence, and then they bound clear, and Alanga has made a brilliant run from this left-hand side. If he'd been spotted by Nico Williams and he could have fed him, he was in behind with Wolves really high up the pitch.
Again, you're just seeing it. They obviously, Wolves look like they're doing well. It goes around the edge of the box, but they're just sat with numbers of 6 and 7 waiting. And as soon as you turn it over, the pace and the directness of the wide areas. I was just watching Nuno just below us, and he's screaming for that pass to go into Alanga, because it literally would have just been a little clip and he's 1v1. They will get in, and they are really good at what they do, but if they turn the ball over like that, they're going to be in trouble.
Yep, and Hwang has picked it up, and he's running at Milenkovic now. He's got to the edge of the area, he's gone wide, he's stopped the ball, he's come back, he's curled it in, it's touched by Strand Larsen and cleared off the line by Murillo. Brilliant block by the Brazilian defender, who was positioned in exactly the right place as the trigger was pulled by Strand Larsen after good work from Hwang. Here's Guedes, edge of the area. Wolves danger not clear yet. Forrest getting away from Murillo, and he helps it out to the far side, and it runs out for a throw, which is quickly taken by Lima. Back in to Tommy Doyle, then to the right side, and Doherty 2 or 3 yards in from the touchline, halfway inside Forest territory. Pings across, taken on by Rodrigo Gomez. What a save by Sells, pushing the ball up over the crossbar from a right-footed volley straight down his throat, but it was a well-worked Wolverhampton Wanderers move. A right-footed ball in by Doherty, no pressure on the ball there, straight to Rodrigo Gomez, who juggled with it, volleyed it, and then saw Sells make a spectacular save.
What a save. What a 15 seconds that was, from keeping the ball off the line to an unbelievable save. Wolves' best part of pressure going forward right now.
Here is the corner, far side, left footed in towards the near post, flicked on by Strand Larsen, and then Sells is there again, and he comes out and jumps on top of the ball. What a terrific stop that was, because he just put his arms up from point blank range to propel it away again, and he's stopped another certain goal for Wolverhampton Wanderers.
That's picked the crowd up, but all of that came from Anderson not playing a safe pass. He chipped one in aimlessly, and it was just excellent from Wolves, excellent for both teams. Murillo on the line to block it and then run out, and then not only make a second and third tackle, but then get the crowd up as well. He's a proper centre-back. This has turned into a really good game.
Oh, a little bit of space in between the lines for Guedes, who's turned and run off Anderson. He's played the ball towards the edge of the box, but it's poor pass from Guedes, who couldn't feed Larsen. He should have done. And it's cleared away by the Nottingham Forest defence. We've played 15 minutes. It's 0-0. You're listening to Talk Sport. We're live at Molineux with Sky Sports. And don't forget, you can stream the biggest Premier League games available with no contract on now, like Wolves versus Nottingham Forest, live right now. Search Now Sports. Bit of shenanigans over on the far side, which results eventually in Anderson getting a yellow card for his tackle on Tommy Doyle.
Yeah, just a little late on the tackle. Every time Gibbs-White gets the ball, this crowd gets up, and it actually gives the Wolves players a little bit of energy, a little boost, and they're all getting after him. Anderson went in there just to back him up, and unfortunately just a little bit late on the tackle.
I do like Elliot Anderson. He was on White and Jordan with us last week, and he wants to keep pushing forward in 2025, but he also said, I love pigs in blankets, but I hate sprouts.
Oh, sounds like a man after my own heart.
I was thinking the same thing. Here is the free kick, taken short by Rodrigo Gomez to Tommy Doyle, then put in by Ait-Nouri. Oh, did that hit the arm of Callum Hudson-Odoi? Well, it seemed to go across his body and take a little flick. Back in by Doyle, deep to the far post. He'll go over Aina's head, and Hwang ends up on the floor, and then Nottingham Forest bring it clear. But there was a suggestion from those behind the goal that there might have been a little flick off Callum Hudson-Odoi. Our referee tonight, Peter Banks. Our VAR is Alex Chilovic. The ball went in towards the edge of the area. It bounced in front of Hudson-Odoi. His arm was wide, but he was pulling it back. I think it hit the top of his chest.
Yeah, he got away with that one. That's lucky, because he's just whipped that arm just behind him. It seems to hit the side of his chest. Gets away with it, but at first glance it looked like it could have been a penalty. But this is the best 5 minutes for Wolves of the game so far.
I mean, what a fantastic chance that was for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Hwang breaking down the left-hand side, getting into the box. It was after they gave the ball away cheaply, Nottingham Forest. As you were saying, they don't want to be doing that. And then he spotted Strand Larsen. How he poked it through the legs of the defender to get there, I don't know. But he managed it, and Strand Larsen hit it straight away, instinctively towards goal. But Murillo had done brilliant to funnel back onto the goal line.
Yeah, when you hit that as a striker, you're like, oh yes, goal. And then you just see him out the corner, you're like, but where did you come from? But it's unbelievable defending, and again, it's making for a really good game, because Forest have the ball, but they're not comfortable with the ball. And you can see that Nuno must drill them on shape and transition, and as soon as we turn it over, we're all going to go the red arrows. But now Wolves are saying, go on then, go play, and they're uncomfortable.
Forest in front for the 16th time this season. They've taken the lead at the beginning of a game, and Wolves have conceded first now in 13 Premier League games this season. Ball clipped into the penalty area from a free kick, and Jose Sarr comes out and gives a big haymaker under that and swipes it out for a throw-in on this near side. Still 0-0 over on TalkSport 2. Queen's Park Rangers against Luton. It's 1-0 to Forest here. The goal coming after 7 minutes from Morgan Gibbs-White. Here's Troy Deeney.
Could he have caught that? Just catch that, right, Jose Sarr?
Well, I was thinking that, but you were giving him a standing ovation.
I wasn't. I can confirm that I was sat down. But it's making interesting, really, because if the keeper's got to come out like that, just come and take it, set 11 feet down. When you've punched it, knowing that every ball's coming in the box like it is now, you just put yourself under more pressure.
The Aina's throw-in is a long one into the box. It's headed away by Wolves, comes out to the midpoint of the Wolves half. It's flicked back into Morgan Gibbs-White. Before it can get there, it's flicked behind, I think, by Lima, but the offside flag was up on this near touchline, and as a result, nothing is going to count. It's going to go out for a goal kick, and it's back with Wolverhampton Wanderers. And it's Nottingham Forest who lead. And as much as Chris Wood has got a lot of headlines this season, Forest's success really has been built on their solid defensive foundation. Only Arsenal have conceded fewer goals than Nottingham Forest. I mentioned earlier that they're often not a team that you're going to see press high up. They're a team that will sit in that deep block, as Troy has been saying, and then look to pounce. Here's Strand Larsen inside the area, though, trying to get it under control from a right wing cross. He couldn't do so, and then Milenkovic just handed him off. But he did have a moment there, but if he'd struck that and connected first time, the crossing from Lima on the right hand side was good enough for him to hit. He just didn't get his feet sorted out.
Yeah, it looks good enough, but as a striker, they're the worst ones. Those ones that just bounce before you, where you've got to try and time your run and your steps as you're going in to hit that. It should have made better contact, but it's a difficult one.
Hudson-Odoi trotting down the left, cuts it back for Wood, then it's on towards the Langer far side. He nudges it back, and it's hit first time by Dominguez. He was leaning back as soon as he hit it from the edge of the D, and it's elevated right over the top of the crossbar, and it's out for a goal kick away to our right hand side. We played 21 minutes on TalkSport. Hudson-Odoi, one of those Englishmen, getting a first showcase in front of Thomas Tuchel. He's been a big part of the Forest story, pushing for an England return. Good to see that Thomas Tuchel is here today. Mark Bullingham is here alongside him, and Anthony Barry. They've been at quite a few games, but the real superstar in that director's box, of course, is that Robert Plant, who's up there. Here on this left-hand side, the ball is played into the penalty area. Dominguez away, up towards the halfway line. A little push in the back by I think Bueno and Chris Wood is just complaining that maybe he should have got a free kick. And Wolves spread and try and come out on this near side. Hwang chests it down, then runs and attacks Aina, gets to the byline, plays it against the Nigerian, and it bounces, he thinks, off his hand. The referee said no, it didn't. And then Anthony Elanga is on the sprint and trying to get away. João Gomez almost runs into Nuno Espirito Santo. Elanga ends up on his backside. It's still very slippy out there after the very wintry weekend.
You've come dressed appropriate though, haven't you?
So have you. We've sort of doubled up here. We've both got heated gilets on. Don't tell everyone. It's supposed to be a secret, that.
There's more the heated gloves I was impressed with yourself. I didn't even know they were a thing.
Did you not?
No, genuinely didn't.
I only wear one because I've got to write so much stuff. So if you want to borrow the other one, you're more than welcome.
No, I'm good, thank you very
sure?
much. Adrian's looking at us in disgust.
Yes. Here is Ait Nouri out towards the middle of the park, and Tommy Doyle, he tries to funnel it through to Hwang, who's wearing gloves tonight. It goes back to Ait Nouri again, and then all the way across the back line via Bueno to Matt Doherty, who changes the angle of the attack and strides forward over the halfway line for Wolverhampton Wanderers, who trail here by a goal to nil. Morgan Gibbs-White, their former player, scoring it, taken on by Guedes, who flicks it up against the defender Nico Williams, and it goes out for a throw-in over on the far side. Forest looking to win 6 successive top-flight fixtures for the first time in the same season since 1966-67.
Impressive. Very impressive. I think as well, there was a moment now, I'm going to try and explain it to the listeners, but it was really indicative of what Forest do. So they press all on one side. As soon as it went back to the far centre back, he whipped it out wide to Doherty, which would have allowed, if Hudson-Odoi would have jumped, it would have created problems. Hudson-Odoi is staying and he's screaming at Wood to come back in and block all the gaps. Within 2 passes they get the ball back, but if he jumps out of position, it just allows for Wolves to pick him off, and it would have actually ended up with Wolves having an attack, maybe a cross into the goal. But it's excellent discipline from them, especially from them wide players who you probably wouldn't say that is the main attribute of their game.
It's just a defensive awareness, isn't it? And you're right, you know, if he goes and presses there as a one and everybody else isn't doing that, then he's going to cause his team problems by leaving a gap behind. Absolutely.
And it's just really good tactical play. Both that's clearly come from the manager, because we've seen him at Chelsea, and there was times even when he was playing under Tuchel where they were saying he was ill-disciplined because he wanted to press and made it about himself. So that shows a maturity in the player, but also really good management as well from Nuno.
24 gone. Forest have just moved through the thirds and got up towards this near side, and it's going to be a throw-in down by the corner flag, and it looks like they're setting up for a corner. This is how good his throw-ins are from this near touchline. He's by the corner flag and he's torpedoed the ball right into the 6-yard box, headed away by Bueno, further clear by Doherty, back in by Anderson, shoveled out of the penalty box by Pedro Lima, the Brazilian, and it's up over the halfway line. That is some throw-in, that, isn't it?
It's basically a corner, as you said. It's going into the penalty. Oh God!
Oh, that's a mistake by Murillo. He's giving it away to Strand Larsen, and Hwang is away. He's into the penalty area, and his finish is about as poor as you can imagine. I think he's double kicked that actually with his left foot onto his right foot, but it was a mishap by Murillo. We gave him the big up before the game, but he gave the ball away deep in his own half, and then I'm not entirely sure what Hwang was trying to do, but it didn't come off.
Yeah, there was no belief in that. What he probably heard was Murillo huffing and puffing and breaking the ground behind him like a thoroughbred trying to get back after his mistake, and as you say, he just hits it with his right foot onto his left foot and shanks it high wide, and not very pretty, unfortunately.
Currently Wolves 0, Nottingham Forest 1, and for the latest odds you can head to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Wolves to win the game at 5-1, Nottingham Forest at 9-4 on, and the draw is 17-4. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes, 18+, begambleaware.org. This is Talk Sport. Troy Deeney and Sam Matterface at Molineux tonight in the cold, and we've got live football for you tomorrow. Arsenal Newcastle is our commentary from the Carabao Cup. Lovely ball out to Gibbs-White, good touch by him, but Ait Nouri stuck with him. He won it back, Gibbs-White, then played it round the corner for Elanga, down by the byline. His cross into the box isn't quite cleared well enough. It comes back to Elliot Anderson, who strikes it against a sliding Tommy Doyle on the edge of the box. Hudson-Odoi keeps it alive, and they recycle it out to the right into Gibbs-White, being chased by Hwang, then tries to feed it, but he's stretching for it, Gibbs-White, and that allows Hwang to come across, get it back to Ait Nouri, who manages manages to shoot it up to Strand Larsen. Bit of space to play for Wolves now, trying to get out from the back. Vitor Pereira is trying to urge them up the pitch. They do that via Lima and then on to Guedes, whose first time cross into the box. Well, I mean, there was just no one catching up with him quick enough to be able to get on the end of that, and it goes over the head of Strand Larsen.
Really, really interesting. Just where we're sat is right behind the Wolverhampton dugout. And as Wolves are breaking forward, every coach has come out and tried to say to that back line, get up, support the play. And I've seen two of the Wolves players look over and literally say, I'm knackered. Because they're having to go forward so much and try and press the ball. But as soon as Forest get it, because they're so direct, it's causing them to not catch a breath. They're just running and running and running. And you can see that this is just grinding them down. Really good tactical awareness again from the Wolves guys trying to get them up, but the players just can't do it, and that's the problem when you change manager in the season. You're not able to get them to the fitness levels you want them to be at.
Well, Forest have been good at dispatching those teams that they are meant to beat. They've taken 28 points from a possible 30 against the teams currently in the bottom half of the table. It's the most of any team. The only points actually they've dropped against the current bottom half teams this season was back in August, the final day of that month in the sunshine, against Wolverhampton Wanderers, who are coming forward now, looking for an equaliser. Taken on by Hwang, swung in brilliantly from Rodrigo Gomez. It's headed away by a combination of Murillo and then Milenkovic, and out towards this near side. That was a really good cross from Rodrigo Gomez from this near touchline.
How good is Milenkovic though? Just goes about his business. No airs, no graces. Every header, every clearance is a good 20-30 yards from his box. Mightily impressive.
I think if they were making a Rocky film in 2025, he might well be the baddie.
Bad ball there, but you can see again, I look at this Forest team and I break it into two. There's a six, there's the back four and the two sitters in front that just do their defensive duties really, really well. And then they say to the front four, go and win us the game. And what it creates this thing where Wolves want to go and press and get after the ball, but you can't leave it because they're not trying to play through the lines. They're missing that. So you have to leave five back. So you've always got an overload in your favour if you're Nottingham Forest.
Queen's Park Rangers 1, Luton 0 is the latest score in the Championship. That's live over on TalkSport 2. If you want to listen to TalkSport 2, download our app and you'll be able to get that station. I think there's a few FA Cup games you might want to listen to over the weekend, including Newcastle against Bromley, which is on TalkSport 2 on Saturday at 3 o'clock. Here is João Gomes clipping the ball over the top into his namesake Rodrigo Gomez, who takes it on, gets it onto his right foot, delivers a lovely cross, brilliant header, and what a wonderful save from Matt Sale from Strand Larsen from 4 yards out. It's a sensational stop. Another one. That's 3 tonight, and he's kept Nottingham Forest in the lead.
Oh, what a save. What a save. Oh.
Dominguez has just taken the wind out of the sails of a Wolverhampton Wanderers player, but they play on and go down the left with Hwang, and he's dispossessed by Elliot Anderson inside the penalty area and takes it out towards the wide right-hand side. But at the moment Wolves are a player light because Guedes has been poleaxed in the middle of the park. The referee has allowed play to continue, and he's just getting his faculties back to rejoin the play now. That was a hefty challenge.
Oh, it was a monster of a tackle. It's one of those ones where the attacker overruns the ball and the defender thinks he can get it, and unfortunately as Guedes just touches it away, he gets absolutely wiped out by Dominguez.
He's back on the ball now and played it down the right hand side. A chance for a crossing towards the near post, and Lima's delivery is helped away by Murillo, and it's out for a corner over on the far side. But Wolverhampton Wanderers, who do score a lot of goals, I mentioned it to you earlier on, they've scored in 17 of their 19 games this season in the Premier League, do have a goal threat, and Dominguez has just been booked for that challenge on Guedes by our referee tonight, Peter Banks.
Just watching that replay from Strand Larsen, he should score, you know. I know we said it's a good save from the goalie, but it's a great ball from Gomez. The pace and the power is on that. All you got to do as a striker is just guide it, and he's headed straight at the goalie.
Here's the corner, right underneath Matt Sells, who's managed to push it away again. It's come back to Hwang, and then it goes back to Lima, whose right-footed delivery into the box is flicked on by the retreating Santiago Bueno and caught from the sky by Matt Sells. Well, yeah, I think you're right. The only thing I'll say about it is it was really close, wasn't it? It was dead close.
It was right at him, but that's what I mean. Because he's headed it with power. What you have to do, as that ball's coming across, you use all of that power and you just guided it with your head. You're not putting any net muscles in, and he's just put too much on it and gone straight at the goalie.
So is he trying too hard?
He's trying to head the ball as opposed to use the pace of the power and just guide it.
Yeah, just leave it and let my head do the work.
Yeah.
Here is Gibbs White, far side, retrieving the ball as they come on the attack here, Nottingham Forest. 1-0 they lead, away from home at Wolverhampton Wanderers on this Monday night. And they've given the ball away cheaply as they try to build their attack, and it's an opportunity for Wolves with first Rodrigo Gomez and then Tommy Doyle to get the ball up on this near side. Interesting, I don't know if it's just because of the corner, but Lima and Gomez have switched sides momentarily. And the ball is with Matt Sells, who is never afraid to go long with his passes. He doesn't mind that, and he certainly tried to search out Morgan Gibbs White there and almost did.
It's been a better spell though, hasn't it, for Wolves? They're playing more, they're getting into wide areas, they're putting in lovely deliveries. You just feel that to them and this fan base, they need to score a goal, because the way it's been going, it's just not going to continue in this vein. You can't keep playing like this and not score a goal.
Well, if XG is your thing, Troy, Strand Larsen is running at almost 1.5 XG, and that's just for him. That's quite amazing.
Well, that shows he should have already scored then, shouldn't he?
Yeah, probably 2 after 32 minutes here on Talk Sport. Ball won by Anderson in midfield from Rodrigo Gomez, who is now on that right-hand side. Anderson picks it up again, charges into opposition territory, feeds Alanga, who's just come into the middle, then sent it wide to Walla Aina, who's got up to attack for Nottingham Forest. He moves into the right wing position, gets into the box, beats the defender, sends it into the box. Did that hit the hand of Aitnori? It certainly went behind and out for a corner. The referee, Peter Banks, is saying, leave me alone, I'll consult with the VAR. But everybody on this side of the ground thought that was a handball by Aitnori. Was his arm out by his side? I think it's a penalty.
It's got to be a penalty, surely. I always just wonder, like, if everyone can see it, why not make a decision? You can still go to VAR and change it, but now the referees just don't make a decision at all. Look at this, it's right.
Well, his arm is out of his natural silhouette, and they are checking for a possible penalty. Alex Chilovic is certainly doing that. I mean, the first glance we got at it, we thought that was a penalty. His arm does look away from his body. Look,
you know how you know it is, Sam? Sorry to interrupt you. Because everyone's saying the same thing. It's not me or you thinking it's that. We've got people behind us saying the same. You've got the Forest players in the bottom left-hand corner, probably 95 yards away, saying it's a penalty.
No penalty.
Honestly, how is that not? Based on all the penalties that we've got this weekend, how is that not a penalty?
Listen, we'll come back to it in just a second, but first of all, here's a corner. Anderson in towards the near post. It's away by Hwang and out on this near side. This is what I'm going to say to you, right? I want you to listen to the Premier League All Access podcast when you get in tomorrow, because I will explain to you how ridiculous the handball law is. In 1992, it had 27 words. Now, its first paragraph has 30 words. There are 5 bullet points and 2 sub-clauses and a diagram now. They've overcomplicated it, and that's the problem. Here's Gibbs White onto Alanga, juggling with the ball. It comes towards the edge of the 18-yard box, and it's cleared away by Tommy Doyle. How on earth that's not a penalty? Troy Deeney is absolutely perplexed. We'll discuss it later, but here is Williams for Nottingham Forest, trying to get the second goal that they think they probably deserve. He crosses the ball into the box, it goes behind, and it wasn't a particularly good delivery, and it's out for a goal kick. Right, we've had a couple of seconds to digest it. Explain to me why you think it isn't a penalty.
Well, it isn't.
Tell me why. Tell me how it can't be.
I have no clue. And clearly, being in this game for 20 years, I don't know anything about football anymore, because that is embarrassing. That there's no way he's not stopping it. I just don't understand, and we're going to hear another excuse from all the referees as to why that's not a penalty, but it's a shambles. The whole place can see it is.
I know that our intrepid producer Declan McCarthy is currently contacting the PGMOL to get that statement that they often put up on X at the match centre, explaining to us why the referee has made the decision that he has. That's a foul by Doherty on Hudson-Odoi, which is going in Nottingham Forest way, and Dominguez is running over to say, well, you booked me for the challenge, so why are you not booking him? Here's the question. Was there enough? The referee didn't give the penalty. You pointed that out straight away, despite everybody going, oh my God, that's a penalty. He didn't give it. Now, because he didn't give it, was there enough evidence to overturn what he had already seen? Or did they think, actually, we should go with referee's call?
I think there's more than enough. There's certainly enough to send him to the screen to have a look. Like, I just feel that this situation now, what's happened is we've created an environment for referees where they don't have to make a decision now. When they don't make any decisions, and they'll let VAR pick up the slack. And then we're still in a position now, what are we, 4 years on from VAR? Still saying, what's it doing? Where are we at? Why is it taking so long? And I know you're the FA man, and I know you're the rules man. I'm not trying to get you in trouble, but what I am trying to say is it's just getting to a point that it hasn't enhanced the game at all.
It's absolutely made the game even more archaic.
Yes.
Ball sent into the penalty area and it's headed away. And Adrian will know that when I came in, I did my best to understand everything to do with VAR and the laws of the game, because I knew it was going to be a big part of it. But I am now in the position where we need to move on. But there's a new way of doing things, and this isn't it. We're not utilising technology. It's a very basic way of doing things. Here is Morgan Gibbs-White to the far post, looking for Elanga. And those of you who hate VAR, and Adrian I know walks around in a T-shirt that says "Bar Humbug," right? There is a brilliant book. It's called "I Can't Stop Thinking About VAR," and it's absolutely terrific. Here is Rodrigo Gomez down the left-hand side onto Aït-Nouri. Oh dear. He's got the ball played at his feet and he's just collapsed to the floor, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
He's actually kicked the floor first, and I saw this at the weekend with Everton. Brozier did it. He come in, he cut off the side.
He came off injured, didn't he?
He kicked the floor so hard that he came off injured. It wasn't funny, but it was really, really funny at the same time, because he came off injured. But it was kind of like when my nan slips, and you shouldn't laugh, but it was really funny.
You're a dark soul. You're listening to Wolves 0, Nottingham Forest 1 on Talk Sport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has 450 branches with all the vehicles your business needs. This is Talk Sport. And we're here live at Molineux and watching the game with our own eyes, not with the benefit of replay. Decided that the cross into the box that was perpetrated by Elanga did come off the arm of Ryan Aït-Nouri. The referee didn't think so, nor did the VAR. Here's Gibbs-White into the penalty area. His delivery is behind everybody in blue and bright pink, and as a result he's given it straight to Wolves, but they've given it straight back, and Aina on halfway has pinched it, charged into the Wolves half of the field, tried to play it through a tight gap in towards Elanga. Aït-Nouri's come across and dealt with it, and then João Gomez pops it through the legs of Elanga, and they try to play out from the back. Wolverhampton Wanderers leading by a goal to nil. Nottingham Forest still look, when they come forward, to be quite dangerous. They look like they're going to score another goal.
But also, Wolves look tired now when they've got the ball because of the amount of work they're having to do.
Here's Rodrigo Gomez down the left. They've had good chances too, and he's created a couple of them. On to Guedes. Guedes into the penalty, pops up for Strand Larsen, half cleared by the Forest defence, helped across by Hwang. I'm not entirely sure who to, but it came to Gibbs-White. One by Doyle now. He's played it into, well, no one, and it's picked up by Aina in the right full-back position, and he's given it back to Wolves.
Yeah, Aina looks like he's carrying something, because he's been down twice, but he's not getting up at all, and he's in a situation where at this moment in time he looks like he's carrying something. He's just getting the ball far away from him as possible.
The referee's call of no penalty for a potential handball by Ryan Aït-Nouri of Wolves was checked and confirmed by the VAR, who deemed his arm was in a natural position.
Brilliant.
Okay.
So what happened in the Liverpool-Man United game then? When De Ligt's hand in a natural position, he didn't intentionally put it up there, he was just moving.
I don't know.
Yeah, no one knows anymore.
I give up.
All it is now is an excuse-making exercise.
I tell you what though, another sort of reference point from that book that I mentioned is that the laws of the game, you can't expect consistency because everybody implies them in a different way.
Yes.
Everybody reads them in a different way. Everybody makes a judgment call in a different way because we're all human beings, and whether you've got technology or not, all you're actually doing is adding an extra human pair of eyes.
Absolutely, and I totally agree with that. The problem you have is what they said was, when it came out, was it was going to take away human error. So you can't then use that as your excuse as to having why you are.
What they actually said was it was going to take away glaring errors.
Well, there's one. There's one. So I think I'm 1-0 up now. I should write another book.
Yeah, I think you should.
Me and Aid are going to do it.
Another one. Here on the far side is Hudson-Odoi trundling down the touchline. Nottingham Forest on the attack, leading by a goal to nil with 5 minutes before half-time. Wolves 0, Forest 1, and the scoreline over on TalkSport 2. Queen's Park Rangers lead Luton, who haven't won away since September, by a goal to nil. That's over on TalkSport 2. If you want to listen to it, get the app. Here on the left-hand side, the ball is with Hudson-Odoi, who floats across into the box. Bit of a wrestling match between Aït-Nouri and Wood, but it's behind him. Vitor Pereira is not happy down on the touchline.
He's not happy with the intensity in which they're going to press the ball, but as I was saying earlier, they're tired. These players are tired. You're asking them to do something that they've not had a pre-season for. You're now telling them to have more of the ball, go and get after it, and they're not used to doing that. It's really, really difficult.
Yeah, and you've got players playing out of position today. Wang sends it through the legs of Dominguez, and then Strand Larsen finds Rodrigo Gomez, who switches the ball to Lima, far side the right. His ball into the box. Well, there's no one in Old Gold there. They're all queuing up on the edge of the box. It's gone right through the other side. Wang's retrieved it for Wolves, who are on the attack here. Edge of the area, Gomez, a little back heel, looking for Rodrigo Gomez, couldn't find it. And again, Forest haven't cleared their lines here. They've gone deep, and Wolves still got the ball. Edge of the area, João Gomez trying to turn away from Anderson, who's sticking to him like glue. Aït-Nouri back to João Gomez again. 3 minutes before half-time, live on TalkSport tonight. Wolves 0, Nottingham Forest 1. It's Bueno into the centre circle, collected now by Matt Doherty, who runs over halfway, shoves it off into the path of Guedes, who's dropped deep, then on to Lima, tight to the touchline right side, produces a cross into Strand Larsen, sets it back for Guedes, edge of the area, takes a touch, trundles into the box, but then runs into traffic. Murillo comes bounding out, shows his brute strength, shrugs someone to the floor and says, now we're going forward.
Those two centre-halves, I know we spoke about them already, but my good God, they're proper centre-halves, them.
In fact, having a go with one of those two?
Oh, all day, every day. That's my type of game. But when you were watching it now, the ball just came in there, a nice back heel from Gomez. Milenkovic is there, bang, clears his lines. It then goes out the other side, they go into Strand Larsen, and then here he is there, Murillo again, bang, have that. Just sets them off, and I don't care what anyone says, it gives you a confidence as a team when you go, right, these guys are going to look after us.
Oh dear, Doherty allowed that to bounce, and Hudson-Odoi took full advantage, charged into the box down the left side, sent it back for Chris Wood, and he finishes it off with a brilliant one-touch finish. Excellent work from Hudson-Odoi down the left-hand side. Doherty didn't anticipate it and go and meet it. Away went Hudson-Odoi like the clappers to the byline, pulled the ball back to the edge of the 6-yard area, and Chris Wood gets his 8th goal against Wolverhampton Wanderers in 9 starts against them. 2024 was a wonderful year for Wood, and 2025 is starting in style. It's 2-0.
I think Doherty thinks that Hudson-Odoi is offside, but he's not. He's just made his way back on. But it's exactly what we said about Nottingham Forest. Get you into a full sense of security, lull you into that long ball over the top. Hudson-Odoi, pure pace and quality, drives at Doherty. As he gets there, cuts it back. Chris Wood, like all good strikers, in the middle of the box, just rolls it into an empty net. Excellent goal, 2-0.
Wow, what a year he had in 2024. Chris Wood, superb under Nuno Espirito Santo. It all changed for him last December when the Portuguese walked in. So much so that, having scored 22 goals in 35 Premier League games under Nuno, it meant tonight, if he was to get one more, and he has, he becomes the top scoring Forest player under one manager in Premier League history, surpassing Stan Collymore, who netted 22 times under Frank Clark in 1994-95.
It's brilliant. No, I know we live in a day and age of pass, playing through the lines, phases. This is just really solid, well-structured football players who are bought into what the manager said. They believe in each other, and now they're in a situation where they've got the quality to get a Chris Wood, but also the front three behind him are just excellent. And I think for Wolves fans, they're getting very animated, very frustrated around us. Unfortunately, just a level above in class and quality. The manager's frustrated, but they're waiting for you. As we look at it right now, Aït-Nouri's in the middle of the opposition half, and all 11 players are behind the ball from Forest saying, come on then, break us down, because as soon as you give it away, we're going to run all over you. Excellent.
Well, Wolves 0, Forest 2. And we're into the first of 2 added minutes at the end of the first half, and Nottingham Forest have executed their game plan well. Look, they've relied on their goalkeeper, they've relied on their central defenders. Make no bones about it, without Matt Sells in goal tonight and his brilliant save percentage, only Robert Sanchez has got a better save ratio among regular Premier League goalkeepers than him, then it might have been a different scoreline. But the job is to sit, to soak, and then when the opportunity arises, get up the pitch and attack with pace. They did that. They've done it twice. They've scored.
And if you flipped it now, the chances that Larson had at the other end, if Chris Wood was on them, Wolves would be winning.
Well, Chris Wood's only had one chance and he scored it.
And that's the difference between the two teams. Moments in games, they take them every single time. And every time Forest do, they've got a belief now, an inner belief that when we go forward, we're going to cause you problems.
Offside flag is up. They are different profiles, obviously. Chris Wood, 33 years of age. Strand Larson, only 24. He's certainly got a shoulder more responsibility now in the absence of Matthias Cunha. He's scored in 6 different matches actually this season, Strand Larson, and he's yet to be on the winning side.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think a lot of his goals have come when they're from behind now, aren't they, and they're chasing games. I just think the chances he's had in this game have come at 0-0, at 1-0. They're huge moments, and again, it's a real difficult thing to say, it's a nuanced thing to say, but when you're playing in games, if a chance falls, you always feel like you've got to score. I don't see that with any Wolves player other than Cunha.
Half-time whistle has gone, an eventful first 45 minutes. Nottingham Forest have won their last 5 Premier League games, and that run is 45 minutes away from being extended thanks to 2 goals in the first half from Morgan Gibbs-White and Hudson Odoi, setting up Chris Wood for his goal, his obligatory goal against Wolverhampton Wanderers. They could have had a penalty as well. Now Vitor Pereira has enjoyed a smooth start since taking over here at Molineux, but he could be about to face his first defeat. Half-time, Wolves 0, Nottingham Forest 2. Fascinatingly, after that, when they relegated 83, 84 and 85 and ended up in the 4th division by the time we got to 1987, that was a dark time to be a Wolverhampton Wanderers fan. Right now they're hoping that they don't have the same fate bestowed upon them at the end of the season. We all came here, I think, in hope of continuing the Wolves entertainment train. Before the weekend, their Premier League games had more goals than even Tottenham. 73 goals for and against in Premier League games this season. The problem is that there are a lot against, and that is a major issue for this Wolverhampton Wanderers team. They've got to now try and come back from 2 goals down. And immediately, Elanga is escaping over the halfway line, and Tommy Doyle drags him to the floor and generates a yellow card as a result of that. Tommy Doyle, who's starting his first game for the Wolverhampton Wanderers since the beginning of November. I'll run through the 2 teams. Sarr is the goalkeeper for Wolverhampton Wanderers. No changes, I don't think, at half-time. Doherty, Bueno and Aït-Nouri, the back 3. Lima, Doyle, Gomez and Gomez on the midfield quartet, with Guedes and Hwang supporting Strand Larson in attack. It's Matt Sells in goal, made a couple of really important saves in that first half for Forest. Aina, Murillo, Milenkovic and Williams. Dominguez and Anderson have both been booked in midfield. Elanga, Gibbs-White and Hudson Odoi behind Chris Wood, who has scored, so has Gibbs-White in attack. They've played the ball down the right corner towards Elanga, who's crossed into the box, aimed towards Wood, goes right through the 6-yard area. It's touched behind and out for a corner. Brilliantly worked free kick, and there wasn't a set-piece coach in sight.
It's worked perfectly though, isn't it? It's a case again, getting the ball wide into Elanga and just putting it into a great area. As you say, no set-piece coach out here organising everything. Just think for yourselves, play to our strengths. And Wolves have got a set-piece coach, but everyone can see right now, all of the players are in the box. Hudson Odoi stood on the edge of the area. If they play this short here, Wolves are in trouble.
Well, Guedes is thinking about going to meet him, then decides not to. It goes into the box anyway, and it's flicked on by Milenkovic and goes over the top of the crossbar. It was a near post corner from Anthony Elanga. Each of the last four Premier League meetings between Nottingham Forest and Wolverhampton Wanderers has finished as a draw, but it doesn't look like this one's going to, unless they cough up 2 goals, and they don't do that very often, Nottingham Forest. And Wolverhampton Wanderers have got to find a way to give their fans hope going into the latter part of this game, Troy. How do they sort of alter the game plan, or does the game plan not change under Vitor Pereira? He's pretty clear in his programme notes today that he has a way of playing, a philosophy, a style of play which is non-negotiable.
He's going to have to work that. What he's going to need is courage and bravery, both with and without the ball, from some of his players now. And this is where, as a coach, he'll find out loads about his team. What do they do when the going gets tough? Do they start hiding? Do they start not wanting the ball? 100% they're going to have to start looking at the bench and saying, right, can you guys come and add something to this young and inexperienced team?
Well, you'd expect Wolves to score at some point, even against a defence like Forest. They've scored in all 9 Premier League home games this season. They've given the ball away almost here. João Gomez just trying to wriggle out of a tight spot after Jose Sarr had put him in one. And there's a bit of communication going on, I'm guessing in Portuguese, between the two. And the ball has been kicked out of play on this near side. And the only team, actually, Wolves, to score in 100% of their home Premier League games this season. Well, they don't want to give any more chances away.
But what that does, though, and again that goes back to what we were saying in the first half about Forest, they force you to play those risky passes to get out because they're so well drilled. But if actually Wolves had got that right there with Gomez with the second pass, there was actually an on goal. But they just haven't got that same quality that Forest have. That when Forest turn it over, they've got Anderson, they've got Dominguez to get you going and get you on the attack.
So here's the question then: if you haven't got the quality to play in that way, should you be trying to play in that way?
Yes, I would say you should be trying to play in that way, but I think you have to tweak it. The problem you've got now, Sam, is if you are a coach and you tweak it, and let's say they went 5-4-1, really hard to beat, started winning games, it's really difficult then to come back and start trying to do your style of play because everyone wants to win in football. So it's a bit like Amorim at Man United. You have to stick with it and just hope the players get better and better and you get time to implement your style.
Doherty slides the ball down the right side. Pedro Lima looks to take on Hudson-Odoi, but he got back and did his defensive work. Williams receives it, kicks it out towards the near touchline. Anderson shrugs off Lima. The ball goes out of play. It's away for a throw in to Wolves on this near touchline. Out to Guedes, right side, trying to trundle down the touchline. Twists, turns, goes back the other way, produces a cross into the box. Actually went right the way through the 18-yard box and looks as if it might go in at the far corner there, but it did just go over the bar and out eventually for a goal kick away to our right. It's 2-0 to Nottingham Forest.
And there in itself, although it was a poor cross that ended up going behind the goal for a goal kick, you've got one Wolverhampton Wanderers player in the box versus 5 Forest players. So if they want to get back into this game, they've got to gamble a bit more, be a bit braver. At this moment in time, it's just setting up where they're just going to have a lot of the ball, look nice, but unfortunately just not have the quality to win a game.
Ball cleared up towards Morgan Gibbs-White, who clips it on, looking to try and find Elanga, and then wins a ball in the middle of the park, but João Gomez is fouled according to our referee Peter Banks. It's out to the far side and the ball is back now with Rodrigo Gomez, who looks to try and travel down that left touchline. Hwang is shuffled out of play by big bad Nikola Milenkovic, the monster centre back. I mean, he's 6'3" is Milenkovic. He is broad and muscular and he absolutely takes no truck. 6'3" is probably being a little bit unkind. He's at least 6'4".
You've got a thing about people being over 6'4", haven't you?
Well, I'm just jealous. Although I'm not having this that I'm some sort of like small guy. It's just I spend far too much time with Alex Crook, and he's 6'5" and an absolute giant, so anyone looks small next to that fella. Here's Murillo. You should have seen us squashed on the sofa in the basement this morning on breakfast at 7 o'clock. By the way, Stelling and McCoy's back together again tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. They're a good laugh when we join them this morning. There'll be a good laugh tomorrow as well as they pick through all the big incidents from this match and beyond. 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, TalkSport Superstar Breakfast with two superstars, Stelling and McCoy, tomorrow on TalkSport. Here is Doherty on halfway for Wolves, who suffered in that first half with two ruthless finishes from Nottingham Forest. Couldn't finish the chances that they had themselves. And as they try to cultivate an opportunity here, Doherty gets down the outside and produces a cross which flicks off Anderson. In the left full-back position, it goes out and behind and away for a corner, the first of the second half, for Wolverhampton Wanderers, the home team.
It's got to be perfect though, hasn't it, for Wolves to score? That's how you feel at the moment. Forest in their shape, filling the gaps really well. Wolves have got to get everything right just to score at this moment in time.
Norris come across to take this set piece, left-footed in towards the near post, flicked away by Dominguez, out as far as Doyle's on the edge of the area. It's going to be recycled by Aït-Nouri. It's a poor cross, which was and a miskick really. It came off Aina, and then he combines with Gibbs White. Here they go again, and the ball's been played up by Aina, and it's only the intervention of Rodrigo Gomez that stops a counter-attack from Nottingham Forest, which had 5 players in it. They've won it back on halfway. Hudson-Odoi is hugging the touchline on this near side, ready to go. He's in the starters blocks, waiting as soon as they turn it over to get off and underway down that left-hand side, but they've just slowed the attack after forward pass didn't quite work out for them, and they'll just keep the ball deep inside their own half. There was a chance though to break.
Absolutely. I think they're trying to get their possession stats up for the season. They're trying not to go too early. They know if they play this smart, they can be in every single time, but they're just going to let Wolves keep grinding, keep growing into the game and pick them off.
Good turn by Doyle, who runs past Anderson and gets into the centre of the opposition half, but he played the ball a little bit too far forward in front of Hwang, who was on a different wavelength, I think, and it was slid across by Milenkovic and out towards Gibbs White, who almost got something on it. Here come Wolves again though. Gomez down the left channel looking to feed Hwang. Hwang's cross into the box is a poor one, not as bad as the clearance from Milenkovic, who put his team in a bit of trouble, then decided to get involved in a wrestling match with Larsson. Larsson's gone down. João Gomez has got the ball, now Guedes has, he shoots, Dominguez has come across to close him down, and the ball is propelled into midfield. Here's Tommy Doyle for Wolves on the attack, 9 minutes into the second half. Lima slides it to João Gomez. João Gomez tries to feed it into the box and overstretches when he does so and gives it straight to Anderson, and off goes Callum Hudson-Odoi with the ball at his feet, racing down the left hand side, facing up Doherty, coming infield past João Gomez, then into Morgan Gibbs White. Elanga should have spread out to the right hand side there where all the space was. Took too long to get it out to him, and they've had to slow the attack now.
You just feel though, while this is a good moment for Wolves and they're going forward with real intent, I don't know if you get the same feeling, Sam. I just feel that this plays into Forest's hands, like Forest are going, come on then, play possum and ready to just hit him with a counter punch.
Well, because you don't trust Wolves to pick that final pass perfectly, and you do expect at some point they're going to make a mistake, give it away, and then once they do that, they're off.
Yeah, absolutely. I just looking at, again, Forest could have then 2 or 3 times gone for that killer pass, get in behind, but it seems to me like they're just trying to control the game.
Yeah, a bit of management.
Yeah, they just take the sting out of it, kill the spirit of this team and this fan base, and then go, we'll pick them off when we can.
Here's Anderson down the left-hand side for Nottingham Forest, who lead by 2-0 into Hudson-Odoi. He's on the left side, plays it out to Dominguez. Hudson-Odoi into Anderson. There's already a few empty seats in the Wolverhampton Wanderers end, away to our left-hand side. Hudson-Odoi again, moving into an advanced position, looking to twist one way then the other, feeds it into Dominguez, looks for the returns, not going to get that though, just opened his body up a bit too much there, Dominguez, fed it into the left channel, it was cleared away by Doherty, and Wolves get it up the field. Slipped by Matt Sells, and he still manages to kick the ball long, it's missed by all the defenders. Wood was coming back from an offside position when he headed it into the path of Elanga, and it's going to be a free kick over on the far side to Wolverhampton Wanderers, who are about to make 2 changes. The first time that we've seen Lemina under Vitor Pereira. We're going to see Jean Rikna Bellegarde as well in the next few moments. Jean-Ric Bellegarde, who actually started the game but was subbed at half-time against Spurs. Here is Rodrigo Gomez, left side. Low cross into the box, cleared away by Milenkovic. Out towards the far touchline, and it bounces out of play, and it's away for a left-wing throw from Ryan Aït-Nouri. What difference will these two make, do you think?
Well, they're going to have to change the midfield. Sorry, I'm just eating one of my Percy pigs.
Is it a Percy pig or is it one of those sausage rolls that they bought you?
No, Percy pig.
Right, okay.
Adrian's demolished both of the sausage rolls, don't you worry.
Here on the left-hand side, the ball is with Hwang. On to Aït-Nouri, his low cross into the box. Again, he's just behind everyone, and it's cleared away by Williams, and then Santiago Bueno and Wood are involved in combat. Wood was dragged to the floor by Santiago Bueno. The referee looked at it, saw it surely, and didn't give a foul. Why?
No one knows. I have no idea what a referee thinks anymore. But I'm just looking again, and when you asked me the question, both of the centre midfielders for Forest are on yellow cards, so maybe adding Lamela and Bellegarde in there just to give a bit of pace, bit of purpose, try and get someone sent off. So at the minute it's too easy for Nottingham Forest.
I hope that isn't just their game plan.
Well, what else is it going to be?
Yeah, good.
Go
Good
wide,
point.
cross it into a box where we've got 1 versus 5 and hope for the best.
Yeah. Well, it isn't working at the moment, whatever they're doing. They look like a team that are running out of ideas. Another hopeful ball into the box, which is headed away by Milenkovic. He'll eat that up all day. And then they've given it away, because that's the they're always going to do. Anderson anticipated it, nabbed it, sent Hudson-Odoi away. He races clear, plays it on to Gibbs-White. Across comes Santiago Bueno. Anderson backs him up, back out towards the near side, but he couldn't find the pass, and Bueno managed to play it infield and clear it for Wolves. Guedes, he's just allowed Dominguez to get across him, and then he's kicked out. That's going to be a free kick just in front of the centre circle, and it's going to be a Nottingham Forest ball. And here's the substitutions. Bellegarde and Mario Lamina about to come on, and the players that are coming off yet to be communicated to us, but yeah, Tommy Doyle, no surprise, comes off.
For Wolves, replacing number 20 Tommy Doyle, is number 5 Mario Lamina.
And the other change is going to be the end of the night for Rodrigo Lima.
Replacing number 37.
So I imagine that means that Lamina is going to go into the heart of the defence, and someone's going to come out and play at right wing back. There's my guess.
Yeah, just looking at it, obviously, because they've got a set piece now, so everyone's going into different positions. But I think they'll be like for likes, and if anything, kind of when they've got the ball, go into a flat back 4.
You think so? Yeah, that might be an option for them.
You get what I mean? When they've got the ball, go to a flat back 4 and push Bellegarde up. But based on how they've set up from this, got the set piece.
Well, there's another change here, because Dominguez is coming off and Morato is coming on, which I think means that they're going to go to a back 3.
Yeah.
So they'll put Milenkovic, Murillo and Morato at the heart of the defence, and then Aina and Nico Williams will have the licence to go further up the pitch and play as wing backs.
And potentially drop who in the middle?
Probably Gibbs-White.
Yeah, just drop Gibbs-White down. See, look, you can see Alanga asking around who's in there, just asking to Nuno now. Yeah,
I think they want them to go a little bit tighter, Hudson-Odoi and
so it'd be like a box
the centre.
Yeah, it'd be like a box 4 behind them. Yeah, makes sense.
Here is the free kick, the set piece, just in front of the centre circle, inside Wolves territory. Forest leading by 2-0. He's going to shoot Murillo. He has shot, but he's missed by a country mile. But he did get some power behind that, didn't he?
What have I just seen?
He has got a long shot, but that was a bit wasteful.
So is me Nan, but I wouldn't expect it to shoot from there. What's happening here?
Are you suggesting your Nan's got as hard a shot as Murillo?
I am, when he kicks it like that, I am, yeah, absolutely. He's got to be 45 yards out there.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he was near the halfway line. It was a bit crackers and a bit of a waste. And Wolves now coming forward as a result. Here is Bellegarde on this right hand side. He's gone out towards the this near touchline, so maybe he will play as the wing back actually, and Lamina will just go in alongside Gomez and they'll keep the same shape.
It looks that way, and I think when they've got the ball, they kind of put Doherty back into his normal right back situation. Oh God, he's lost it again.
Giving it away. Jose Sarr, Hudson-Odoi, Morgan Gibbs-White turning off the back of João Gomez. It goes out to the right side. Alanga into the penalty area, tiptoeing his way into the box, sends it back for Elliot Anderson, deflected and wide of the goal, and it's out for a corner. Good chance again for Nottingham Forest, and a good move involving Elanga down that right-hand side, who was really running at pace. No one went out to meet him. He pulled it back to the penalty spot, and Anderson's effort took a deflection before it went wide, and he still waits for his first Forest goal.
It's the same drill over and over and over and over again. You can see it doesn't matter what midfielder Wolves put in there. They're not comfortable being secure on the ball. So Lamina comes in to get it, tries to take it on the back foot. It rolls under his foot, straight to a Nottingham Forest player, and then straight on the counter-attack again.
Here is the corner, over on the far side, taken by Anderson, whose right-footed ball into the near post is easily headed away by Hwang. It bounces on the right edge of the penalty area, won by Williams. Anderson tries to keep it alive far side, couldn't get it under control. And it's out for a throw-in deep inside Wolves territory. And it remains 2-0 to Nottingham Forest, live on TalkSport with Sky Sports. And don't forget, you can stream the biggest Premier League games available with no contract with Now. Like Wolves against Nottingham Forest live right now, search Now Sports. And it's still over on TalkSport 2, 1-1 between Queen's Park Rangers and Nottingham Forest tonight, as we continue to bring you all the best of the EFL. And over the course of the next week or so, we've got loads of football for you, including tomorrow night, Arsenal against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup semi-final first leg. Wednesday night, Tottenham against Liverpool, live on TalkSport. Looking forward to that. Scott Minto will be with me and Adrian at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Thursday night, Everton Peterborough. Friday night, Aston Villa against West Ham United. Saturday, Liverpool Accrington starts us off. We've got loads of games throughout the day on TalkSport, TalkSport 2, and Sunday a double header which starts at the Lamb in Tamworth.
Let's have it. Go on the boys.
And they take on Tottenham, and then rolls into Arsenal against Manchester United, and that's at 3 o'clock.
I know which game I'm watching.
Yeah, it's from the Lamb, right?
Absolutely.
Get your radio on, get your TV on, sync the two up if you want, and you'll be able to follow the games. Here on the right side, John Rickner-Bellegarde produces a ball back to Guedes, who's crossed into the box, has Rodrigo Gomez stretching. It's away by Aina up into the middle of the penalty of the Forest half. It's given away cheaply, and when won back by Gomez over on the far side. In it goes from him out to Hwang left side. He takes on Milenkovic, hesitates, pulls it back. Ain't Nori is joining. Now it's back to João Gomez, who's 10 yards short of the penalty area. Poked back to Doherty via Santiago Bueno, and Wolves looking to build from the back. And again, Nottingham Forest in that sit-off position. Sit off and wait, then spring. That's what they like to do. Rickner-Bellegarde sends the ball out to the far side. It's clipped out to Ain't Nori. Ain't Nori with a little poke round the corner, straight at Aina.
They're inviting the cross, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're waiting for it.
Because they know that they can head it away.
Exactly.
Here is Bellegarde on towards João Gomez, pinched by Murillo right on the edge of the box, and before they could spring, Lamina won it back again. Here is Ain't Nori, deep inside Nottingham Forest territory. The ball goes back to Lamina, who's ball into the chest of Bellegarde. It's controlled well. He turns away from Anderson. It's helped on to Ain't Nori, who's down by the byline. He pulls it through the 6-yard box, and it's away by Nico Williams, who's inside the 6-yard box. Clears it away up to Hudson-Odoi, who then plays it against the body of Lamina, then scoops past him, gets it back off him, faces up Doherty, goes on the outside, drags Nottingham Forest right up into Wolves' half of the field, goes round Doherty, gets to the corner flag now, still fighting with Doherty, goes down, wants a free kick. Referee says, no, you're not having a free kick for that. I'm not blowing my whistle. In fact, I don't even know if he's got one.
Yeah, I think the referee's just saying what's happening. I'm just looking at Aina. He just stopped there for some reason. The ball got played in behind, and Ain't Nori's in, but Aina's just literally stood still watching him, and Nuno's asking him, are you okay? And he's literally just giving nothing, but he's been limping since about the 10th minute of this game, and I was surprised he came back out. I wouldn't be surprised if the manager drags him really soon.
Here is the throw-in on the left-hand side, hoisted up into the air towards Milenkovic. It's headed away by Doherty, comes back out to Nico Williams. Williams feeds it in towards Hudson-Odoi, who's crossing to the box. He's headed goal. Was it stopped by Sarr? I think it took a little flick just off the head of Santiago Bueno, the Wolves defender, and Sarr did enough enough to push it away, but Morgan Gibbs-White was in there. If that had been Chris Wood, there would have been curtains. Now Alanga's got it. Gibbs-White towards the edge of the area, backheel by Hudson-Odoi. It's away by Lamina, and now on the other side of the ball, Wolves get the chance to counter-attack. There's a collision involving Strand Larsen. That leaves a gap for Guedes. Strand Larsen is back on his feet. He's right, but his shot is blasted goal as it's saved by the goalkeeper Sells and pushed round the post and out for another corner for Wolverhampton Wanderers. That was the first time we've seen Wolves counter-attack like that, and they made it pay.
Yeah, it's much better from Wolverhampton. They've been able to turn it over and go. Never really felt like Strand Larsen was going to score. Always fancied the keeper. The defender made it so he had to go to the keeper's near side. Excellent defending from Forest, but Forest look like they're letting this game slip away now. And I'm just looking to our left, and the manager's getting 2 and 3 subs ready because he must feel that it's getting away from him now. They should have killed this game off, really.
Yeah, they've had the chances to do so, but they haven't yet managed to finish off Wolves, who've still got 24 minutes to go. The ball in towards the near post, pushed away by Sells. It popped up off the body of Morgan Gibbs-White. Now, the Wolves fans would have loved it if he'd given away a penalty for handball, but after what we saw in the first half, he couldn't possibly give it. Into the box it goes from the far side, and Sells will drop on top of the cross from João Gomez rather easily and clear away. When the ball came out, it certainly hit the chest of Morgan Gibbs-White. It was about as far away from his arms as Ryan Aït-Nouri's body was from his arm when it did whack his extended limb in the first half. And there's another extended limb in the face of Chris Wood. And the free kick is given against Santiago Bueno as Jota Silva and Ryan Yates look to come and add a little bit of energy and aggression and a little bit of skill in Jota Silva's case into this Forest team.
Also, I think based on what you said, if any of the players decided to catch it and flick it over their head with their hands, I don't think the ref would give it anyway.
Yes, you might be right there, you might be right. Maybe if someone sort of caught it, bounced it and then tried to sort of alley-oop, they still might not get
penalised. To VAR, that would.
Yeah. Ryan Yates and Jota Silva come on for Elliot Anderson, who is being replaced, and the other change is going to be, here we go, this is the moment of suspense. Oh, interesting. The other change is going to be Anthony Alanga. On comes Jota Silva. Off comes Alanga, off comes Anderson, and on comes Ryan Yates. So 2 changes for Nottingham Forest, 2 changes for Wolves so far in the game as well. And Ryan Yates coming on for Alanga. It's actually their 3rd change because they took off Nico Dominguez and brought on Morata in that earlier exchange. Jota Silva only started 4 games. Most of his contributions have been off the bench. He scored a really good goal against Newcastle in the League Cup when we were at the City Ground earlier in the season. Yates is just coming back from suspension. Not from the captain, he loves to get stuck in. He might need his work rate towards the end of this game. Here's Murillo towards the back post, headed away by Lamina. Guedes picks it up, charges forward, tries to get them out up towards Rodrigo Gomez, who races away over on that left-hand side. Immediately challenged by Jota Silva. The ball goes out, quick throw-in taken by Wolves as they look to try and get up the pitch. It's 2-0 to Nottingham Forest on Talk Sport live this evening at Molineux. Troy Deeney alongside me, Sam Matterface. Talk Sport and Enterprise Rent-A-Car, whatever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day. Here is Doherty up towards the right hand side, looking to fade Strand Larsen. It's given away, and now a chance to break for Nottingham Forest. Wood trying to tuck it around the corners of Hudson-Odoi. Gibbs-White's going to get it, tries to pull it through up towards Wood. Good tackle by Williams, poked back by Gibbs-White. I think they're just a really good football team, Troy.
I do as well. I think in every element, if you were designing a team, you would want a solid goalkeeper that can make big saves when you need it. You want proper defenders who can defend and enjoy keeping clean sheets, which they've got. you've got midfielders that work and combative and actually can play a pass, and then going forward you've got pace, power and goals. It's a well put together football team. And I'm obviously sorry to interrupt you. I know the director of football as well, Roscoe, who they got in from Rangers, used to be at Watford with us.
Yeah, is that Ross Wilson?
Yeah, Ross Wilson. He's done a really good job, just quietly goes about his business, and this is a really well-established team.
And the improvement is quite astounding, really. They've won 37 points from 19 games. Here they come with Jota Silva in towards Hudson-Odoi, who flicks his header over the bar. He had to stretch for it. It came at him really fast, and they took a throw-in down the right-hand side. It caught everyone out, and Jota Silva was in a right-wing position. He managed to roll past the defender too easily, and Chris Wood sort of occupied Bueno. He went round the outside past Ait-Nouri, got the cross in. Hudson-Odoi was there. Another chance to kill the game.
Yeah, I think that was a difficult chance because the ball's come from Jota bouncing over. It's skidded off the turf, and it makes it really uncomfortable because you feel as a striker you can get there, and it just, every time you take a step it just gets further and further away. And Hudson-Odoi possibly to hit the target is to go for a diving header, but I don't think that's in his game remit, to be fair.
Well, they've won 37 points from 19 games this season. It's an improvement of 20 points from the total at this stage last season. 2 of the last 3 teams with 20 point improvements at the halfway stage in consecutive seasons went on to do what, do you think? So a team
Qualify for Europe?
A team that had 20 more points at this stage of the season than the previous season went on to win the league.
Wow. I thought we wasn't going to do that tonight.
Chelsea in 2016-17, Leicester in 2015-16. They progressed with big points advantages at this stage, although theirs was bigger. The 29 and 26 actually their swings from the previous season. Forest is 20. But whatever happens, whatever they do, it will be a massive boost now, because I think there's pretty much almost no chance that they are going to drift so far out of the reckoning that they don't get European football. They should be nailed on for it now, shouldn't they?
I'd expect them to go through some form of blip, but like you just said, it's very difficult to find a hole in this team. Barring injury, on their day they'll give every single team in this Premier League a real struggle for their money. You've got to be really good both defensively from set pieces, long ball, dealing with Chris Wood and the runners that they've got, and also you've got to be excellent to break them down, because they don't care. They're ready to defend.
No one's got pressure on the ball here, and Nico Williams has taken advantage, bringing it down out of the night sky and sending it to the left, and Callum Hudson-Odoi. Remember, and it's only one team that Liverpool have lost to this season, and that is Nottingham Forest, who are going level in second position with Arsenal, just behind them on goal difference. They'll have the same points, and it won't be long before they bump into Liverpool again. Here is Hudson-Odoi, out left towards Williams. It's put behind. Did it take a flick off the Welshman? I think it did. And it's gone behind and away for a goal kick there. The next games for Nottingham Forest are interesting. They've got a game against Luton in the FA Cup at home at the weekend. Then they play Liverpool, then Southampton, Bournemouth, Brighton and Fulham. It's fascinating to see what their points total is at the end of that. Wang is off, and off is Gonzalo Guedes, and Carlos Forbes is very fast, and Pablo Sarabia has been out for a very long time, come into the game. Pablo Sarabia hasn't featured since November the 9th because of a calf strain. He scored on his last appearance against Southampton.
I was here for that game. He started really well and scored after about 2 minutes, and then I think he pulled his calf in that game and was out for the rest of the time.
There you go.
It's just interesting when you watch teams and where they're at. I'm looking at all the Forest subs. They've come on, they're energised, they know their jobs, they know what they're doing. Everyone who's come on for Wolves looks like they're just a yard off the pace, like they're a little bit tired, like they're not ready, they're not fit enough to do what the manager wants.
Well, we'll go back to that in just a second, because there's a free kick here which Sarabia is going to take. But you noticed something at half-time as well, which I think is worth bringing up about Wolverhampton Wanderers. Sarabia to take the free kick, though. It's midway inside the Forest half, on the right, left-footed, curling towards the back edge of the 6-yard box, headed down towards Strand Larsen, took a deflection off someone, comes back into the penalty area, flicks across the face of goal, and the offside flag is up.
At least he made a decision. Fair play to the liner. Yeah, they're all offside.
Yeah, just about. It went towards that far post, didn't it? It was headed by Lamina, who was in an offside position initially. But you noticed something at half-time, and that was when the substitutes were warming up. Over on the far touchline from us, in front of the Forest fans, there was a battalion of Nottingham Forest replacements going through their paces, being put through their paces by a sports scienceman and a fitness coach. The Wolves replacements had no one around them, and they were just kicking the football up in the air to each other.
They played two-touch, all 6 of them. And I said to you at the time, didn't I, how can they be fit, ready and focused to come on into a game? Because the hardest thing to do in a game is come on as a sub. I can tell you that for experience. You come into the game, you're instantly sprinting, you're going straight back up. For anyone that hasn't played to a high level, it's like going in and doing a hit session straight away. You go, oh my God, you're trying to get your second and third wind. And I just thought, with the way that these guys would do it, there were literally 5-6 of them just passing it 10 yards. It was like something you'd do with your kids in the kitchen. So you don't, when your missus is making dinner, you try not to get in trouble. But when you looked at Forest, they looked well organised, well drilled. They were going through their paces. Even as we say it now, you've got 4 subs for Forest down there, warming up, going through their bits and pieces, all kitted out, ready to go if the manager is called upon. Can't say that about Wolves.
Won brilliantly by Murillo over on the far side for Nottingham Forest, who lead by 2-0. He's trying to fight with Carlos Forbes for the ball. He loses out to Lamina, and they'll be pleased to have him back, I think, in the engine room. He's fed the ball out towards this near touchline. It's taken on by Bellegarde. 13 minutes to go. He's turned the ball back round towards the left-hand side and given it to Doherty. They do have a comeback in them, and I'll cite late goals that they scored away at Fulham. Here is Rodrigo Gomez looking for the ball, but Yates was in there, and Nottingham Forest again quite easily hold Wolverhampton Wanderers at arm's length. Ball scooped over the top to Jota Silva, who was inevitably in an offside position. And it's going to be a free kick 12 yards short of the halfway line, with Wolves trailing by 2-0.
You should talk about them Wolves that is coming back from being in different positions to get points and come back. They've never felt like they're going to score today. You've never had that feeling in the stadium that they could score. What this Forest team are doing differently to Spurs and to Fulham, they're inviting you, say, come on then, try and break us down. They've made a little game of it, essentially, to say, let's see what you guys can do.
And the answer, inevitably, has been not very much, because there, the ball's played up to Strand Larsen. He tucks it back to Sarabia. Sarabia tries to return it, but doesn't get this pass right. And Matt Sells comes up, picks it up, and then toys with Strand Larsen inside the penalty area.
And you just look around this place, there's no sense in the crowd or on the sideline or even on the pitch that anybody in this place feels that Wolves could do anything. Nobody at all.
Here is Sarabia on the halfway line. Bellegarde goes sprinting down the right, wants the ball, but it's a poor pass from Sarabia. It's cut out by him, and then Williams does brilliantly to squeeze the pass through the Hudson-Odoi, but he was fouled anyway, and the free kick is going to be given in his favour. I mean, it's some achievement to have posted the number of points that they have put on the board already. 20 points more than last season. It's terrific. They'll have 40 points by the end of the night. That's absolutely outstanding. Only 8 of the 100 teams to finish in the Premier League top 4 in the 21st century have been from outside the Big Six. Only 8 of 100. That is a club that not many get into. Should Forest's second half of the season match their first half, they'll get 74 points, which is almost a guarantee of a top 4 place. They'd only need 66 on average to reach the top 5, and that should be enough because of the bonus Champions League place that England is expected to get. So that's 26 more points, and they should be in the Champions League next season.
That's brilliant. I bet that somebody said that within the room, and they've got a little bonus on it, a little bit of a, how do we break that down per month to hit those targets? And maybe they have to win, I don't know, 3 games. Your maths is better than me. 3 games per month to get those 26 points. At this moment in time, you wouldn't bet against them making that, because they're just being methodical. They're not pretty. They're not playing loads of patterns of play, but they're solid and they're reliable.
Well, win 7 games and 5 draws. That's all they'll need.
There you go. Who just told you that? There's no way you thought of that on your own.
I just worked it out. A-grade maths, mate. GCSE. Don't you worry about that. Here is João Gomez trying to twist away over on the far side. gets it from Sarabia. Sarabia bumps into Morato, who I think is foul. He certainly thought he was fouled, and the free kick has now been given. Currently Wolves 0, Nottingham Forest 2, and for the latest odds you can head to Ladbrokes, where right now you can get Wolves at 45 to 1 to come back and win the game. Nottingham Forest to win the match is 40 to 1 on. The draw is 14 to 1. It's all thanks to Ladbrokes. 18 plus BeGambleAware.org. QPR leading 2-1 over on TalkSport 2 against Luton. And remember, you can call Jason Cundy, Jamie O'Hara and Dermot Gallagher tonight. 03717 223344. The sports bar from 10 o'clock. You can ask Derm all the questions you want about the refereeing decisions from the weekend. Joel Linton's handball, you want to talk about that? Gallagher is your man. You want to talk about the handball that wasn't tonight? Gallagher is your man. 03717 223344.
Do you reckon Dermot's actually going to say any referee got a decision wrong?
Yeah, of course he is. He doesn't sit on the fence.
Oh, I know Dermot. He definitely sits on the fence. I like you hearing this as well, Dermot.
He's my favourite Gallagher brother, Dermot. I wonder if he's got tickets to Oasis.
Yeah, he'll get in there.
Wolves 0, Forest 2, and 9 minutes to go. This is TalkSport. And Wolves have got a cup tie against Bristol City away from home at the weekend. Their next few fixtures look pretty tricky. Newcastle away, Chelsea away, Arsenal at home, Aston Villa at home, and then Liverpool away. That honeymoon for Victor Pereira might come to a crashing end very quickly. Here is Rodrigo Gomez poking it through to Pablo Sarabia. Sarabia into Doherty, back to Bellegarde, who cracks it towards goal, but who was out there to get enough of a significant block to divert it away from the post and out for a corner? Murillo.
Yeah, really good passage of play from Wolves, and as you said earlier on, in the build-up to this, a lot of 1 and 2 touch football, but it has to be perfect for them to score. And even when it dropped to Bellegarde on the edge of the box, he gets his shot off left-footed, but you just don't feel there's a confidence there to go and score. 7
minutes to go, in towards the 6-yard box. Sells, smashed it away, does really well to get a good punch on it, but Bellegarde's return wasn't very good. Comes back out to the near side. Lamina for Wolves on the attack, looking to try and get back into the game that they're trailing by 2-0. Jota Silva almost gives it away inside the penalty area by throwing himself onto the floor, and then it goes out towards the near touchline, and Gibbs White then helps it onto halfway. Jota Silva on towards Hudson-Odoi, across Gonçalo Gomez. He's quite effective in the central midfield position. He takes it forward now, out towards this right-hand side. He's trying to hand off Jota Silva, who is penalised. I'm not entirely sure what for. I think for being too close to João Gomez? I don't know.
He just left a little foot in, but you know, as a player, you rest of your teammates are screaming, don't foul, don't foul, don't foul. Gives the foul away. I feel like Forest have took their foot off the gas a little bit here and trying to protect themselves. I don't know whether they're tired after a busy Christmas period, but there's an opportunity to go and kill this game off here.
Well, there's been a lot of games in a short space of time. They will be playing a midweek game next midweek, because the Premier League returns next midweek rather than at the weekend because of the FA Cup. Free kick comes in, headed away by Jota Silva, back into the penalty area. Lamina gets hold of it. Strand Larsen's gone down and he wants something. Back into the area by Sarabia, cleared away. And Nottingham Forest trying to get the ball out and clear of their penalty area, but Wolves keep coming and it's difficult for them to get out. Here on the left-hand side, Carlos Forbes, lightning quick, but he almost tricked himself, played it against Dana, it's out for a throw-in, down by the corner flag. Still 2-0 to Forest.
Interesting watching the coaching staff of Wolves. Strand Larsen went down holding his face. Every single one of them was screaming at him to get up.
I don't know, who are these guys down here on the seats outside the dugout?
I think that's all the medical staff, you know. Lamina just tried a shot from 47 yards there.
Yeah, it's pretty far out.
Yeah, and that went about as close as Murillo's, and that is giving a mass exodus to the fans at either side. Look, they've all seen enough. Yep,
the Wolverhampton Wanderers fans heading down the exits now. There were a few empty seats actually right from the very beginning. There was even more at half time, and there's certainly a lot more now because people are streaming out the exits, knowing that it's 2-0, knowing that there are just 5 minutes to play. Are they really all the staff?
They're all medical staff. Every single one of them down there is medical staff. Welcome to the Premier League, my friend.
My word. They've got a bigger bench than they have got squad.
You'd actually think about it though, with all of those stuff, you'd think someone would never get injured, wouldn't you?
Well, they've got to strengthen the squad because they have had injuries. Lamina Traore, Sarabia, all hoping to get up to full fitness soon. 2 of them on the pitch now, but coming off the bench tonight. Obviously, Cunha is out suspended. Totti has been out since Boxing Day. No one's seen hear or hide of him since then. They actually made a £45.7 million profit in the summer transfer window, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Only Manchester City made a larger profit amongst Premier League clubs, and they sold 2 players for over 40 million quid in the summer, Kilman and Pedro Neto, and they didn't replace them, not like for like.
No, but also they did their business early, didn't they? And they tried to see that as a positive of being able to bed the players in, but...
Ball headed away by Morata, who is being... squeezed by Strand Larsen. The ball is cleared away. Ward-Prowse desperate to get on the pitch now, and I think he's as desperate to play as Nuno is for him to get hold of the ball and spin it in behind, as he was just telling him on the touchline. Still, Forest have to defend, and they have to defend because Rodrigo Gomez is coming down the right for Wolverhampton Wanderers. His ball aimed towards Carlos Forbes, cut out by Aina, but it goes only as far as Ryan Aït-Nouri. Aït-Nouri, who wants to set up a grandstand finish, has overhit this pass into the left channel. It's gone racing out of play, and it's away for a goal kick, and we can have those substitutions now with the end of the night for Chris Wood and Taiwo Awoniyi coming on. And James Ward-Prowse also entering the field of play for Nottingham Forest, and he's had a difficult time actually because West Ham decided they didn't want him anymore, so they sent him on loan. He hasn't started a game since November the 23rd. He's only started 5 games this season, James Ward-Prowse, and as he comes on for Morgan Gibbs-White, I wonder if he's thinking, I wish I'd stayed at West Ham. Well, probably he'll look at the league table tonight and go, no, I'm all right, thanks.
It's really interesting watching from this vantage point that we got. I'm just watching Nuno come on, and he's literally telling Wayne when he came on, when you come on, run into the channels. So he wants to see this game out. He's saying to Ward-Prowse, get on the ball, any opportunity, just flip it into the side. Yeah. And there's the difference when you're at a team like Forest and the way it's been structured is, when they bring players on, they're players that have done it all.
Awoniyi are in here. He's got him behind the defender. Is he going down, being brought down by Jose Sarr as he tries to skip beyond Doherty? The referee says no. Well, that was a high ball which Doherty didn't deal with. He allowed it to bounce. The goalkeeper Jose Sarr came out. Awoniyi squeezed in between the 2 of them, and he went down. I don't know whether there was any contact, but he didn't really appeal, and the ball spilt behind and went out for a goal kick. Lucky.
Yeah. Lucky again for Wolves. Really poor defending, and also goes to my point. Whenever a Forest player has come onto the pitch, they look ready, fit, available, and active and ready to go. When he's been on 2 seconds, he's chested the ball down. The second one, he's chasing a lost cause and nearly scores from it. Every Wolverhampton Wanderers player that's came on, looks like they've not played football in about 6, 7, 8 weeks.
Well, most of them haven't, to be fair. Here is Lamina, who's one of those who's been out for a little while. On to Rodrigo Gomez. Back to João Gomez, who's 10 yards short of the Nottingham Forest penalty area. I think also, and you're completely right about the substitutions, they look thought through and with a purpose. Sarabia plays it down the left, and he goes straight out of play. He's one who's still ring rusty, hasn't played football for a long time.
You say that there's ring rust, and that is your touch might be off and you're blowing a little bit heavier. Some of these look like they've never worked together. They genuinely look like they've never actually seen each other until they turned up here like it's 5-a-side goals and you've just paid a £5 to play with a new team. When you should shoot, they pass it. When you should cross, they shoot. It's all over the place.
I had you down as a power league man.
I'm neither. I've got my own venue, so yeah, I'm not going to plug it on here because I'm not that kind of guy, but I've got my own venue. When you're in Tamworth next week, I'll show you.
All right, fair enough. 90 minutes on the clock. Wolves 0, Forest 2. This is Talk Sport. And we're coming towards the conclusion of a game in which Nottingham Forest are going to win again. Awoniyi is causing problems for Santiago Bueno, and from Jose Sarr, who comes out, meets him, gets it caught between his feet, but manages to escape to clear it out on this right-hand side. Goes out of play, and it's away for a throw-in deep inside Wolves territory. That PA is too loud, isn't it?
Everything about Wolves has been too loud today, yeah, except their performance on the pitch.
Well, it's kind of like they spent all their money on it or something, and they've just turned it up to like a ridiculous volume that you don't need in a football ground.
How good was the light show before the stadium? Did you not like it?
I actually didn't watch it, I've got to be honest.
Oh, did you not?
The only thing I liked about
your new headset on that records everyone.
Yeah. And you know what else I was looking at? I was looking at those flame cannons because I was so cold. They were keeping me warm. Here is Sarabia round the corner. We're into injury time. There's going to be 4 added minutes, but you knew that because you heard it on the ridiculous PA. It's back by Milenkovic all the way through to Matt Sells, who kicks it long. 03717 223344. The Sports Bar open for business from 10 o'clock tonight. Dermot Gallagher is going to go through all of the big decisions, and you can call him on that number. You can WhatsApp us on the number as well. Rodrigo Gomez sends a cross into the box right side. Again, Murillo heads it away. He's been great tonight.
The whole back line's been excellent. They're just banked in now on the edge of their box. 7, 8 of them in a line, saying to Wolves, we dare you. See what you can do. But what it makes Wolves do is go round the outside, and every time they go wide and get a ball into the box, Wolves have only got Strand Larson, who's over 6 foot in the area. Forest have got 4 big centre-halves all ready to wait and head the ball.
And so much of the football's been played outside of the penalty area. It goes into the box now. Again, it's a poor ball into the box, which Stan Larson can't control. And they have been off the pace tonight, and they've been beaten by Nottingham Forest by 2-0. And Forest's last top-flight win over Wolverhampton Wanderers was a 4-1 victory in December 1980 under Brian Clough, who today we celebrate the 50th anniversary of his appointment as the Nottingham Forest boss.
Absolute legend of a man. You're right there, buddy.
Yeah, I think it was the waft of your Percy pigs, the pungent strength of those sugar.
Can we just say that I bought them for the team?
I know you did. I had one at half time. It's almost killed me.
It was probably because you had that tuna and cucumber sandwich that nobody ever wants one of them.
Forest do want 3 points. They're going to get 3 points, and they're going to hit the magical 40-point mark just halfway into the season. 5 more wins, and history tells us that they will be in and around the European places. How terrific will that be for Wolverhampton Wanderers? Ball cleared by Wolves up towards Sarabia, who's crossing into the box. He's kept in by 8 Nori. A bit of skill to take him past Jota Silva. He gets to the byline, can't get the cross in, then tangles with Jota Silva. Then they just forget the ball and decide to fight. And the ball then spills into the path of Rikner Bellegarde. It's kicked towards the edge of the penalty area, and then Milenkovic manages to hack it clear. It's met by Awonyi, and then Hudson-Odoi, who feeds it to James Ward-Prowse, who can finish it here. Awonyi will tap it
really
in from inside the 6-yard box, and it's victory for Nuno Espirito Santo, victory for Nottingham Forest, and a goal for Taiwo Awonyi, who manages to score for the first time this season, the first time since February the 17th last year. 22 games without a goal, caps off a brilliant Nottingham Forest performance, and they are going joint second of the Premier League.
What a team goal that is. We've been saying it all night. It comes from Milenkovic again. Whack! Clears his lines, gets it 70 yards up the pitch. Hudson-Odoi breaking his neck to get there. And when he lets it go, Ward-Prowse breaks his neck to get up there. Could shoot himself, lets the keeper go down, rolls it. And Awoniyi will never have a better and easier goal to score in his life. Rolls it in from 4 yards out. 3-0. Excellent away day performance. Nottingham Forest, well done you.
And substitutions that make a huge difference.
Absolutely. And the key part, and this won't get shown or see, is every single one off the bench was up, ran to the manager, and they all gave him a big hug. Nico Williams comes sprinting up to tell Hudson-Odoi, excellent. You can just see the team camaraderie, and they're all buying in. This is a special Nottingham Forest team.
3-0. A terrific performance for Nottingham Forest. A difficult night for Wolverhampton Wanderers and their supporters, who have emptied the ground now, by the way. There are hardly any in here. It's just that slither of Nottingham Forest fans that you can hear at the full-time whistle. and the only Wolves fans that are left are booing. And they know it wasn't a great performance from their team, but it was a brilliant Nottingham Forest one. And Forest inflict defeat upon Wolves for the first time under Vitor Pereira, and in doing so extend their winning run in the Premier League to 6 games. It's their best run of form in the top flight within a single season since 1967. 50 years ago today, Brian Clough took charge of Nottingham Forest, but he never managed this. Forest go level on points with second place Arsenal, and this blazing hot form is definitely no flash or no spark. 20 games in, it's a Forest fire, and they are burning their way up the Premier League. It's finished at Molineux. Wolves 0, Nottingham Forest 3.